Since Russia invaded Ukraine, over £60 billion has been committed in aid and military equipment to support the defenders. Western leaders have assured Kyiv that they will continue to support them until the aggressor is pushed back. However, after almost 2 years of war, this resolve seems to be weakening due to domestic political realities and the allocation of resources towards the Middle East conflict, particularly by the United States. A long-standing budget dispute in Washington has given the Republicans effective veto power over providing further assistance to Ukraine. The White House has recently released an additional £200 million worth of US military aid from Pentagon stocks. However, without the fresh approval of Congress, this will be the final installment from the Americans. Meanwhile, aid from Europe is also slowing down, as a £40 billion EU package was blocked by Hungary earlier this month. This situation arises at a time when Ukraine is facing a record deficit and is running out of equipment, while Russia is rearming in preparation for an expected counter-offensive in the spring. There is a potential alternative source of funds, the $300 billion of Russian assets that were frozen when the invasion began. However, confiscating these assets, which include central bank funds, would be a significant step and has been resisted by democratic leaders thus far. Such a move could play into the hands of Russia and China, giving the impression that the international financial system is based on the whims of Western governments rather than the rule of law. Additionally, under international law, any confiscation would require a vote in the UN Security Council, judgment by the International Court of Justice, or a post-war settlement, all of which would require Russia's agreement. Moscow would likely retaliate by confiscating foreign assets. President Biden has proposed the establishment of 3 working groups to explore potential solutions. These groups would examine the legal issues surrounding confiscation, the methods of implementing such a policy while mitigating risks, and the most effective way to provide support to Ukraine. The process would culminate in a G7 summit in February to mark the 2nd anniversary of the invasion. If the West is no longer willing to financially support Ukraine's defense, what alternatives exist beyond managing its inevitable defeat? Confiscation of Russian assets is a challenging option, but Western taxpayers may find it increasingly difficult to accept an indefinite call for their financial assistance while a significant amount of the aggressor's money remains untouched.